Hello and welcome to Backstage Buzz, where we'll give you the inside story on Buffalo Theater Ensemble's production of The Outgoing Tide. Today, I am so happy to introduce the director of this production, Steve Scott. Welcome, Steve.
Thanks, Diane. It's nice to be here.
So happy to have you. And Steve was the director of Andy Warhol's Tomato that got such great reviews, and everybody loved it so much.
It was a wonderful play.
And we're so glad you're back.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be back.
So, Steve, what I want to know for the average person who doesn't go see a show, why would they want to go see The Outgoing Tide?
Well, it's a show, first and foremost, about families. I mean, the major situation is that the elderly father is dealing with Alzheimer's, and the rest of the family has to decide what to do. But within that, there's a lot of talk about what happened earlier in the family background, the wonderful things and the not so wonderful things that happened in their past and all of that. I think it's a show for anybody who's ever had a family, quite frankly. It's especially good, I think, if you have elderly parents or if you are an elderly
parent. Which we all do.
Which we all do, and we all have to deal with at some point. When you come up against really serious questions, what decisions do you make and how do you make them? Mm-hmm. Do you put somebody in assisted living, or do you let them live their lives outside as long as they possibly can? That sort of thing, and it becomes a very kind of fraught situation to trying to deal with all of those topics.
And I think, we know that our society has a much more aging population. We have much more elderly people than we do younger people.
The baby boomer generation has gotten old. I'm one of them. And so the world has changed a great deal. Mm-hmm. And especially for the baby boom generation who felt that we were never going to grow old, well, here we are. What do we do? What do we do? How do we handle all of that?
Oh, and I think what's great about this kind of a story is it might help open conversations up in families to, let's talk about this before we get there.
Absolutely,
right?
Yes.
Maybe it's a good way to talk about this or think through it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's much easier to talk through it and understand it before it hits you in the face, because then you start making decisions out of panic and out of, oh my God, we have to solve this. But if you have some sort of understanding, and things change, but if you have some sort of understanding of what everybody is comfortable with and what everybody needs and wants before you hit those critical points, it does help. And it also helps to clear up any past animosities or conflicts that the family had, because when people are coming to the end of their lives, you want to settle those.
Right.
You want to come to terms with those so that there's nothing hanging.
So does this play help people to maybe make some better choices, do you think?
I think so. And some of the choices made are not the choices that other people would make, perhaps. Mm-hmm. But yes, I think by the end of the play, we see the reason for the choices that are made, and I think we agree with them. And see that we are free to make our own choices. We're not just condemned to be locked up somewhere until we fade away, or put on a raft and sent out into a lake or something like that.
I know when I was going through my mom's passing, I saw a movie called The Father that showed you the perspective of somebody with Alzheimer's from their perspective, which was so helpful to me.
Absolutely.
And it connected, and it made me have a new perspective. Do you think there's something like that in this play that might give somebody going through it a new perspective?
I think so.
Good.
I think so, because when you say Alzheimer's to people who haven't had to deal with it, they have kind of very fearful, oh my God, he's going to just be crazy, or he's going to come after me with a knife or something like that. And that's not what it's about at all. And it's different for each person.
Sure.
But yes, I think this will give you an understanding of what that really means, and how it affects people and how it affects the people around them, which I think is very important.
And who would you recommend? It's for all different people, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. I don't. Is it children?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, just so people know, who do you bring?
I think it's for older, I don't want to say children, but people in their 20s and 30s who are just starting to think about their parents aging.
Okay.
And certainly for people older than that, and for senior citizens who are starting to deal with it and have their own fears and issues around that. It's actually a very comforting play in many ways.
It sounds like it'd be a good play to bring your couples, your sister and your brother, or right?
Absolutely.
It might be a really nice play to say, let's get the couples together and the family.
Yeah, and let's go see, what we can understand about what mom and dad are going through.
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely. And although it's a very serious subject, there's a great deal of humor in the play. So it's not like you're going to sit there and
so it's got humor.
Oh yeah. It's very funny at times, and the relationships are very interesting, and they're not just kind of
intense,
monochromatic. We hate you and all of that sort of stuff. They're textured as all racial relationships. It's a very recognizable play, I think, and we're all going to see ourselves in it in one way or another.
And where does it take place?
It takes place on a lake, actually, up in the north, where the family homestead has been. And the son of the couple comes back to see what he can do to help. But for various reasons, you don't understand that he's the son until later on in the play.
Oh.
So there's a little bit of mystery about it, too.
Fun.
Yeah. It's a great actor's piece, and I've got 3 wonderful actors for it.
3 people in the show?
3 people in the show.
Anybody that we might know?
If you're a regular Buffalo Theater Ensemble person, Connie Kennedy Howard, who is the artistic director, plays the mother.
How about that?
Brian
and
Burke.
She's awesome on stage.
Oh, she's wonderful. It's a wonderful role for her. And Brian Burke, who was in Andy Warhol's Tomato, plays the father. And Nick Dufloth, whom I worked with a couple of years ago in a show out here, is the son. They're all wonderful actors, and I'm so looking forward to it because I love all of them and I love working with all of them. So it's actually going to be a lot of fun for me.
It'll be beautiful.
Oh,
I know you'll do a great job.
I hope so.
So for your fans out there, what else are you working on right now? Anything we should know about?
Oh my heavens! I just did a show at the Skokie Theater, a production of The Tale of the Allergist's Wife, which is a kind of wacky comedy. And I run the Dunes Summer Theater out in Michigan City, Indiana in the summertime. So I'm now planning the season for that. And it's a wonderful place to spend the summer because you're away from the city and the woods. I mean, it's a beautiful place.
And the lake.
Do some good stuff. And the lake. We do some really great stuff out there. So I have fun with it.
The name again of that theater?
The Dunes Summer Theater.
Interesting.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Buffalo Theater Ensemble's The Outgoing Tide runs February 1st through March 3rd. For tickets or more information, please visit atthemac.org. We look forward to seeing you at the theater and next time on Backstage Buzz.